afternoon, students. Jai Sanskar. Now we reach the second part of our lesson 5, separation of substance. See, in our last video, we have learned that we can separate the substance with different methods like winnowing, tracing, decantation, condensation, filtration, sieving, and many more. So let's understand more method of separation. See, anything cannot be separated with the help of winnowing and sieving. There are some substances which require more method to get separated. Use of more than one method of separation. We have studied some method for separation of substance from their mixture. Often, one method is not sufficient to separate the different substances present in the mixture. In such a situation, we need to use more than one method. See, for separation of some substance, only one method is not enough. So, we need to use different methods to separate the substance. To understand this better, let us perform an activity. Activity 7. Take a mixture of sand and salt. How you will separate this? See, if the sand and salt get mixed with each other, can you imagine that you can separate it? See, in our last video, the same question arose and I told you that it is not possible to pick hand-picking method to just pick up small particles of the sand from the salt. But still we can separate sand and salt. How? Let's read and understand. That hand-picking would not be a practical method for separating this. Keep the mixture in a beaker and add some water to it. Leave the beaker aside for some time. Do you see the sand settling down at the bottom? Yes. See, take a mixture of sand and salt and add some water in it and let that solution for some time. What happens after some time? The sand will settle down at the bottom of the glass or beaker. Do you see the sand settling down at the bottom? Yes. The sand can be separated by decantation or filtration. See, now you can separate the sand and water by two methods. Whether it is decantation, that you can just tilt the glass and just take out the water, and what is left over in the beaker, it is sand. Do you think this water contains salt which was there in the mixture at beginning? Now see, in the beginning, what was the two mixture? Sand and salt. When you add some water into that mixture, the salt will be absorbed or it will be dissolved in the water. Now the sand and salt is separated, but now the water and salt is mixed. Now we need to separate the salt and water from the decanted liquid. Transfer this liquid to the kettle and close it lid. Heat the kettle for some time. Do you notice the steam coming out from the spout of the kettle? See, now this is the kettle. You have to pour water in it. Now you have to close the lid. इसका ढक्कन बंद कर दो. Now you have to heat the kettle. So when you heat the kettle, you can see that the vapor coming out from the spout means the opening of the kettle. Take the metal plate with some ice on it. Hold the plate just above the spout of the kettle as shown in the figure 5.13. See, as shown in the 5.13, what you need to do, you need to take the metal plate and put an ice on it and let it be contact with each other, that steam and that metal. When the steam comes in a contact with the metal plate, cooled with the ice. Now what happens? The steam comes in a contact with the metal plate and the ice on it just cool down that vapor. See, the vapor is the heated form of water. So when the ice comes in a contact, not in a direct contact but an indirect contact with that vapor, the vapor gets cooled down. The water drops that you observe falling from the plate were due to the condensation of steam. The process of conversion of water vapor into the liquid form is called condensation. Now, when the steam comes in a the upper atmosphere is so cool that it contains that vapor, and the vapor will fall in form of rain. So you can say that, did you ever see the water drops condensed under the plate that has been used to cover the measure containing milk that has just been boiled? See, you have used to see in the kitchen. In my first video I told you that everything is available, every scientific experiment is available in your kitchen. So when your mother just heat the milk, she just keep a lid on it, and when you just pull up the lid, you can see that the water condense in just metallic area of that lid. After all the water has evaporated, what is left behind in the kettle? The white substance is left behind the kettle. What is that white substance? Let's read and understand. We have thus separated the salt. So it means that is salt. Now we have separated the salt. See, first of all, what happened? The sand and salt get mixed with each other. Then what happened? We just add water in that, and just salt dissolve in the water and immerse with the water. So when you tilted the glass, the water flow out in the another beaker, and what is left behind the first beaker is sand. So now sand and salt is separated, but now the salt is mixed with the water. But when you hit the water with the help of the kettle, it forms a steam. So water gets evaporated in form of the steam, and what is the white substance left behind is salt. So now water and salt is also separated. So here we used two methods to separate the salt. The first one is decantation, that is to separate the salt and sand, and another is evaporation, to separate the water and the salt. So we use two methods to separate salt and sand. Now we have thus separated the salt, sand and water using process of decantation, filtration, evaporation, and last one is condensation. See, even the condensation is also used. So here not two but four processes used. Paheli faced a problem by recovering salt mixed with the sand. She has mixed a packet of salt in a small amount of sand. See what she does? She has mixed the big quantity of salt into the small quantity of sand. But now she is getting difficult to get a salt in that mixed amount. She then tried the method of suggested in activity 7 to recover the salt. She found, however, that she could recover only a small part of salt that she had taken. What could have gone wrong? See, when she mixed, it was in a large quantity, but when she applied all this method, she get only the small quantity of water. When she added the small quantity of salt. When she added or when she mixed the salt with the sand, the quantity was greater, big. But when she received, after using the method, she received only small quantity of salt. Why does this happen? Let's read and understand. Can water dissolve any amount of substance? See, as you know that we separated a salt and sand. So first what we did? again. The activity suggests that the larger quantity of salt can be dissolved in a water on heating. So, now what is required? More heating is required. Does water dissolve equal amount of the different solution substance? Let us find out. See, there are different things that is required the different amount of water to get dissolved. See, if you dissolve the salt, the water required is not equal to the water required to dissolve the sugar. To understand this, let us perform an activity. Activity 10. Take 2 glasses and pour half of the cup of water in each of them. Take 2 glasses and add half a cup to each of them. Add a teaspoon of salt and 1 glass and stir when the salt dissolves. Go on adding salt 1 teaspoon at a time till the solution is saturated. Record the number of the spoon of salt that dissolve in the water in table 5.2 now. See,